the veil beneath reality. What if everything you know, everything you've ever seen, touched, or felt, was only a reflection, a faint echo of something infinitely deeper? Beyond your senses, beyond sight and sound, lies a hidden order. Not chaos, not chance, but a quiet architecture, woven from the smallest, most mysterious threads of existence. This is not the universe of stars and galaxies, not the vastness of space or the slow drift of time. This is a world beneath the world, the quantum realm. Here, the familiar dissolves, matter fades into vibration, form dissolves into possibility, and what remains is pure potential. Breathe. Let go of the visible. Let your awareness sink beneath the surface of the known. Imagine peeling back the layers of the physical world. Each atom, each molecule, each speck of dust, until all that remains is an ocean of invisible motion. This ocean hums with energy, not the energy of fire or lightning, but the quiet tremor of existence itself. Every particle is a note, every vibration a line of music, and together they form the symphony of creation. Scientists call it quantum mechanics. Mystics call it the invisible spirit of matter. And perhaps they're both right, because in this hidden dimension, the line between physics and philosophy begins to blur. Where one ends, the other begins. And together, they whisper truths that the waking world has long forgotten. Imagine an atom. It is smaller than comprehension, yet within it lies an infinity of mystery. Electrons dance around a nucleus, but even that picture is only an illusion, a simplified map drawn by limited eyes. In truth, those electrons do not orbit. They exist as clouds of probability, as waves of potentiality. They're everywhere until they are seen, nowhere until they are measured, and somehow both things at once. Reality, it seems, does not exist until consciousness gazes upon it. Does this mean that we, the observers, are not separate from the universe, but co-creators of it? That our awareness itself is the instrument that turns possibility into matter, silence into sound, darkness into light? Across the ages, ancient wisdoms have whispered of this same truth, that all things are connected. That matter is spirit in motion. That existence itself is a dream, dreamed by consciousness. And now, physics begins to agree, in laboratories and equations. The deepest insights of modern science echo the words of mystics and poets. Everything is one field, one living wave, one interwoven continuum. You're not separate from the stars. You're not apart from the atom. You are the universe observing itself, learning its own language through the lens of awareness. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the vastness of space, galaxies swirling in the dark sea of night. Now shrink your focus. Down past planets, past mountains, oceans, cities, and cells. Down to the quantum realm, a place where distance loses meaning and time folds like silk. Here, everything touches everything else. Every atom knows the pulse of every other. Every photon carries the whisper of the cosmos. What you think of as you is not a boundary, but a resonance, a temporary pattern within an infinite field of possibility. Like a ripple on water, you rise from the stillness of the universe, dance for a while in form and light, and then dissolve again into the boundless ocean that birthed you. In the quantum world, there are no absolutes. There is only probability. A particle exists here and there, now and then. Being and non-being are the same melody, played in two different octaves of existence. And so the question arises, if even matter is uncertain, what then is real? Perhaps real is not what is fixed, but what is felt. Perhaps reality itself is a river of awareness, and our lives are waves upon its surface. The deeper we look, the more we find that there is no ultimate boundary, no final wall between observer and observed, between dreamer and dream, between matter and mind. It is all the same song, and we are its echo. The more we explore this hidden dimension, the more it challenges what we believe about existence. Particles appear and disappear without warning. Energy fluctuates from nothingness. Empty space seethes with unseen creation. And the laws of the universe, those ancient and reliable constants, bend to accommodate the strange logic of the small. In this world, cause and effect blur. The arrow of time wavers, and what we call reality becomes a dance between potential and perception. It is both humbling and exhilarating. For if the quantum realm truly underlies everything, then the universe we inhabit is not a rigid structure, but a living, breathing field of possibility. Let your thoughts slow. Let your imagination drift. In the silence between breaths, try to feel it. The hum of the unseen fabric beneath all things. It is in the pulse of your heart. It is in the glow of the stars. It is in the space between thoughts. Everywhere and nowhere. Invisible, yet absolute. We call it the quantum field. But perhaps it is better named the soul of reality. And tonight, we will journey through it. We will explore its foundations, its paradoxes, its infinite possibilities. We will look beyond perception, beyond the familiar, and touch the edges of existence itself. In the chapters to come, we will travel deeper into the strange core of being. We will meet the bizarre building blocks of nature, the unseen architects of reality, and the future that lies at the intersection of science and consciousness. So breathe deeply and let your mind expand into the infinite. The journey begins now. Welcome to the quantum realm, reality's unseen fabric. Chapter 1. Reality's hidden foundation. Everything you know feels solid. The ground beneath your feet, the walls that shelter you, the body you inhabit. The world feels tangible, weighty, dependable, undeniably real. But what if that sense of solidity is only a story your senses tell? What if reality, at its most fundamental level, is nothing like what you believe? Beneath the surface of every object, every breath, every heartbeat, there exists a realm of endless movement, a dance so small, so swift, that it escapes perception entirely. And yet, it is this invisible motion that gives rise to everything you can touch. Atoms form the matter of the universe, but an atom is mostly empty space. Within it, a tiny nucleus rests at the center, surrounded not by miniature planets, but by probabilities, waves of possibility, fields of potential waiting to become something real. You're not solid. The chair beneath you is not solid. The stars above you, the mountains, the oceans, they are all shimmering patterns of energy, momentarily condensed into form. Reality, as it appears, is a mirage of certainty, floating upon an ocean of uncertainty. We call the world we know the classical world, the realm where apples fall, where time moves forward, where objects remain still unless moved. It is familiar, predictable, safe. But beneath it lies another world, the quantum world, a place where logic dissolves, and the rules you take for granted cease to apply. In the classical world, things exist in definite states. An electron is here and there now and then, until the act of observation forces it to choose. To the human mind, raised in the realm of the large, this is madness. But to the universe, it is simply truth. Picture a wave on the surface of a quiet lake. It rises, crests, and fades. But what if that wave were also a particle, and its position could not be known until you decided to look? This is the paradox of existence itself. Reality is not built from things. It is built from potential, from patterns of vibration, from mathematical symphonies that hum beneath the visible. The universe is not a structure. It is a process unfolding, collapsing, reforming. Every instant, every atom, every thought. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine zooming into the palm of your hand, through skin and bone, past blood and cell and molecule, deeper into the invisible heart of the atom. There, within that infinitesimal space, everything begins to blur. You would see no particles, no tiny orbs circling in neat orbits. You would see clouds, diffuse, soft, shimmering clouds of probability. The boundaries between here and there would vanish. You would see not matter, but motion. Not objects, but possibilities in waiting. And in that moment, you would understand that your hand, the air around it, and the stars beyond the sky are woven from the same invisible thread. This revelation that the world of the small and the world of the large are connected but distinct is the greatest riddle of modern science. How can two realities coexist? How can one universe obey two conflicting sets of rules? The classical and the quantum, twin layers of existence, each one true in its own way, each one incomplete without the other. Perhaps they are not opposites, but reflections of a deeper unity. Like the calm surface of a lake and the currents beneath it, two faces of the same water. Our human senses evolved to navigate the middle scale. Neither the vastness of galaxies nor the minuteness of quarks. We see only what we need to survive, and so we mistake that thin slice of perception for the totality of the universe. But the cosmos is stranger than survival allows. It is vaster, subtler, more intricate. We are beings of quantum matter, living within a classical illusion. Every breath you take, every nerve that fires in your brain, is a quantum event scaled up to visible size. Within the apparent stillness of your body, countless quantum interactions unfold, electrons leaping between energy levels, photons dancing through the lens of your eye, neurons translating vibrations into thought. You are not a static being. You are a symphony of processes, constantly creating and dissolving, a self sustained by the ceaseless hum of the unseen. Somewhere in the gap between the quantum and the classical, something miraculous happens. The uncertain becomes certain. The possible becomes actual. The wave becomes the world. No one yet knows how, but perhaps consciousness plays a part. Perhaps awareness is the bridge between potential and manifestation. When you observe, you select. When you measure, you define. The act of noticing shapes the thing noticed. And so the universe waits for you to look. It waits for you to exist. It waits for you to collapse possibility into form. Consider this. The light striking your eyes at this very moment has traveled across space, vibrating as both wave and particle, until it meets your perception. In that meeting, that intimate exchange, the potential becomes experience. Energy becomes image. The universe becomes aware of itself. And so, in every moment of seeing, the cosmos completes its circle, from vibration to awareness, from silence to song. The implications are endless. If the foundation of reality is quantum, then existence itself is uncertain, not random, but open, not chaotic, but creative. Free will, consciousness, destiny. Perhaps these are not illusions, but expressions of quantum freedom, manifested through awareness. You are not merely a witness to reality, you are a participant in its unfolding. The boundary between self and universe is thinner than thought. Every choice you make, every perception you hold, ripples through the quantum field, like a stone dropped into still water. And those ripples, though unseen, shape the very reality you inhabit. In the hush between moments, consider what this means. That every object, every motion, every sound and silence is born from the invisible. Reality is not built from matter, but from relationships, from patterns of connection, from the interplay of fields and forces. Perhaps that is why the universe feels alive, because it is. To understand the hidden foundation of reality is to recognize that we live within a living web, a tapestry of energy that breathes through everything, from the smallest electron to the brightest star, from the birth of galaxies to the flicker of your thoughts. All are woven from the same fabric. That fabric is not static, It trembles, shimmers, evolves. It learns through us. It dreams through us. You are not standing in the universe. You are the universe for a brief moment, standing in itself. The world you see when you open your eyes in the morning is the surface of a far deeper mystery. A layer of order rising from chaos, form born from the void. When you hold a stone, you hold a pattern of vibrations. When you breathe, you move the universe through your lungs. When you think, you stir the field that binds all things. The hidden foundation of reality is not beneath you. It is within you. You are made of it, and it of you. As you drift through this understanding, let the familiar world soften. Let the edges blur. Imagine every solid thing dissolving into shimmering motion, a dance of invisible waves. The walls, the ground, your own form, all made of trembling patterns, woven from the same quantum light. And in the silence that follows, listen. Beneath the hum of existence, beneath the heartbeat of time itself, you might hear it, the faint vibration of the universe, creating itself anew, moment by moment, breath by breath. This is the hidden foundation of reality, a world of energy and awareness, woven together in ways no human language can fully capture, a mystery not meant to be solved but to be felt. And so we rest within the paradox. The visible world, built from the invisible, the certain, born from the uncertain, the many emerging from the one. This is the quantum foundation of all things, the unseen lattice that binds existence, the pulse that gives life to the cosmos. The next time you gaze at your hands, remember, they are not solid. They are constellations of probability, stars of energy bound by intention. Every atom, a universe. Every breath, a creation. You're not apart from the mystery. You are its expression. Chapter 2. The Bizarre Building Blocks. At the heart of every star, every breath, every flicker of thought, lies a code. A set of principles that govern the impossible. They are not logical by the rules of the visible world, and yet they are the reason the visible world exists at all. These are the laws of the quantum realm, laws so strange, so beautifully illogical, that even those who discovered them struggled to believe they were real. Here, certainty vanishes, form becomes function, and what we call things are merely shadows cast by deeper waves of possibility. This is the world of superposition, of entanglement, of wave and particle, a realm where opposites coexist, and where truth is measured not in absolutes, but in probabilities. Imagine a single particle, a speck smaller than imagination can hold. It does not sit still. It does not stay in one place. It spreads infinitely, like a ripple across the still surface of being. This is superposition. The particle exists in all possible states until the universe chooses one, until the moment of observation collapses the wave into a single fleeting reality. It is as though the cosmos itself hesitates before deciding to exist. At first glance it seems absurd. How can something be here and there? How can it exist and not exist at once? And yet, this duality is the foundation of everything. Every atom in your body, every photon of light that reaches your eyes, every breath of air that fills your lungs, was once a cloud of pure probability. You are not made of matter. You are made of possibility realized. Superposition is not alone in its strangeness. There is also entanglement, the mysterious thread that binds the universe together. Two particles, born of the same event, remain connected forever. No matter how far they drift apart, touch one and the other responds instantly, across any distance, across time itself. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. He thought it impossible, and yet experiment after experiment proved him wrong. The universe, it seems, is a single undivided whole, a vast web where each point feels every other, where separation is illusion. You are not an isolated being. You are a node in a living network that stretches across galaxies and beyond. Then there is the paradox of wave and particle. Light behaves as both. Matter behaves as both. You behave as both. Sometimes it moves as a wave, spreading infinitely through space. Sometimes it acts as a particle, sharp and definite, like a single beat of energy. And yet, both are true. Reality does not choose one form over another. It simply holds both. Depending on how you ask the question, perhaps the universe itself is not bound by form, but by attention. What you look for is what it becomes. Scientists build experiments to understand this mystery, and what they found changed everything. When they watched an electron pass through two slits in a barrier, they expected it to behave like a solid particle. But it didn't. When unobserved, it created a pattern of waves, a shimmering interference pattern of possibilities. When observed, however, the pattern vanished. The electron chose one path. It behaved like a particle again. The only difference was the act of observation. As though the universe noticed that it was being noticed, and changed its behavior in response. What does this mean? Does consciousness shape reality? Does awareness define existence? Or is observation simply another form of entanglement? A meeting of energy with energy, wave with wave, mind with matter? The more we learn, the stranger it becomes. Particles tunnel through walls as if those walls do not exist. Electrons leap from one orbit to another without crossing the space between. A superconductor can float above a magnet, defying gravity with perfect elegance, because the laws of the small refuse to obey the limits of the large. We call these effects quantum tunneling, quantum jumps, quantum levitation, but their names are only symbols, attempts to describe what language cannot contain. The universe behaves not as a machine, but as a dream. Fluid, non-linear, alive with intelligence. In the quantum realm, events do not unfold one after another. Cause and effect merge into a shimmering circle of possibility. Time becomes elastic. Space becomes relational. And reality itself becomes a story told by the act of interaction. There is no fixed location, no absolute moment, only relationships and the exchange of energy between them. Everything touches everything else. Every change ripples through the whole. The cosmos is a single vibration, singing itself into form. You can sense it if you listen carefully. The rhythm of your heartbeat, the rise and fall of your breath, the pulse of your thoughts, all echo the same hidden music. You are a standing wave in the infinite sea of being, a temporary pattern in the endless song of creation. And when your pattern fades, the energy does not die. It simply returns to the field, to rise again in another form. To understand the bizarre building blocks of existence is to see that nothing truly stands alone. No particle, no being, no event is ever isolated. The photon that touched your skin a moment ago was born in the heart of a star, millions of years ago. Its journey ended with you, but its story began before Earth even existed. You are made of stardust, yes, but more than that, you are made of the same motion that shaped the stars, the same trembling quantum rhythm that breathes through all matter, and that rhythm has never stopped. It continues now, within you, through you, as you. In this realm, nothing is solid. Everything is energy, everything is vibration, and yet, from this chaos of uncertainty, emerges perfect harmony. The laws of the quantum give birth to the world of the classical. From the strange, the ordinary is born. From the invisible, the visible arises. It is as though the universe, in all its paradox and possibility, decided to dream itself into matter. But even deeper still, there is a mystery we cannot escape. Why does observation collapse the wave? Why does measurement transform the possible into the real? Some believe it is consciousness itself that acts as the catalyst, that the mind is not separate from matter, but a part of the same equation. Others say it is simply interaction, that the universe observes itself constantly, through the endless interplay of its own forces. Perhaps both are true. Perhaps every act of awareness, every touch of light upon matter, every meeting of field and field is a sacred event, a spark of creation repeating endlessly across the cosmos. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You stand in a vast, silent expanse, not of space, but of potential. Around you, waves shimmer, each one a possibility, a universe that could be. Then, without effort, your awareness focuses on one. It brightens, solidifies, and the world forms around it. This is what happens in every instant, within the smallest particles of existence. Observation selects, choice manifests, reality unfolds. Everything you are, your thoughts, your memories, your sensations, are built upon these bizarre foundations. Within the smallest flicker of an electron lies the story of creation. Within every moment of perception, the entire cosmos shifts and reshapes itself. We are made of miracles, so small we cannot see them, and yet so powerful that they create everything. The next time you look at your reflection, know that what you see is not a collection of atoms and cells, but a dance of probabilities, stabilized for a moment by awareness. The universe is not out there, it is within you, folded into your perception, woven into your breath. Every blink of your eyes is a quantum event, every heartbeat a resonance of cosmic origin. And so we begin to see. The bizarre building blocks of existence are not foreign, not alien. They are the intimate machinery of being itself. The world may appear solid, but beneath it, everything hums, everything moves, everything vibrates in endless dialogue with itself. Matter and energy, wave and particle, observer and observed, all one dance. As this realization deepens, the boundaries begin to fade. The division between self and world, between mind and matter, dissolves into pure continuity. You're not in the universe, you are of it. You are a wave in the infinite field, a temporary expression of eternal motion. And when the wave fades, the sea remains, vast, awake, alive. In the stillness of this moment, try to feel that underlying pulse, the rhythm that connects all things. It is the soundless hum of existence, the invisible heartbeat of the cosmos. It moves through every electron, every star, every life. It is the music of being, endlessly creative, endlessly strange, and endlessly beautiful. This is the truth of the quantum world. Its paradoxes are not flaws, but expressions of a deeper unity, a reminder that the universe is not built from certainty, but from wonder. The bizarre building blocks of existence are not strange because they are broken. They are strange because they are whole. They remind us that everything we see, everything we touch, everything we are, arises from the unseeable. They whisper that reality is far vaster than our perception allows, that behind every law, behind every equation, there is mystery. And in that mystery lies the true fabric of existence. Vibrant, interconnected, alive. Chapter 3, Beyond Our Perception, Quantum Fields. Before the first atom was born, before light took its first breath, there was something else, a presence, invisible, yet infinite, a vast ocean of potential, from which every form would one day emerge. This is the realm beyond the particle, beyond even the wave. It is the quantum field, a silent sea of energy that underlies all that is. Everywhere you look, from the emptiest vacuum to the heart of a star, the field is there, unseen, unbroken, ever present. What we call particles are not solid specks of matter at all, but ripples, tiny excitations in this boundless field, like waves forming and fading upon the surface of a timeless ocean. An electron is not a thing, but a vibration in the electron field. A photon is not a beat of light, but a ripple in the electromagnetic field. Every particle, every force, is just a trembling pattern of energy within its own invisible sea. In the depths of this field, nothing truly rests. Even in total darkness, Even at absolute zero, the vacuum seethes with motion, virtual particles appearing and vanishing, borrowing energy from nothing, then returning it, in perfect balance. Physicists call this the zero-point energy, the hum of existence itself, the universe's background music, so subtle, so pervasive, that we are always bathed in it, even when we think we are surrounded by emptiness. There is no true emptiness. There never was. Even the void is alive. The space between atoms, the silence between stars, is not a gap, it is a presence, a canvas upon which the story of reality unfolds. If the particles are the notes, the field is the instrument. If matter is the melody, the field is the song. Everything that exists is a pattern of vibration in this infinite energy sea. And yet, though it is everywhere, we cannot see it. Our senses are tuned to the coarse surface of reality, not the delicate hum beneath. But if we could perceive deeper, if our awareness could expand beyond the material spectrum, we might feel the shimmer of that field, the infinite web of motion that connects all that is. Every breath you take, every heartbeat, every flicker of thought is not separate from that field. It is the field, momentarily expressing itself as you. The great physicist David Bohm once said that what we call reality is only a shadow of a deeper implicate order, a hidden structure that enfolds everything, a totality in which matter, energy, and consciousness are not distinct, but aspects of one continuous movement. That movement is the field. It flows through galaxies and neurons alike. It is the invisible thread that ties existence together. You are not standing in the field. You are the field, momentarily aware of itself. In this realm, distance dissolves. Separation is illusion, for the field does not exist in space. Space exists within the field. What we call location is merely a pattern, a ripple defined by its relationship to other ripples. If you move one part of the ocean, the whole ocean feels it. So too in the quantum field, every motion, every vibration sends a ripple across the totality. Nothing happens in isolation. Every act of existence is a conversation with the whole. This is why entanglement is possible. It is not that particles communicate across space. It is that they were never truly apart. They are simply two ripples in the same field, still touching, still one. What happens to one is instantly reflected in the other, not through transmission, but through unity. The field does not need to send messages. It already knows. It is the message. Physicists map these fields with equations, mathematical symphonies that describe their behavior, but the equations, elegant as they are, cannot capture their living essence. The field is not cold or mechanical. It is alive, not in the biological sense, but in the sense of continual creation. Every instant, it generates the particles that form our world, only to dissolve them back into energy again. Birth and death, appearance and disappearance, occurring endlessly within the heartbeat of the cosmos. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine floating in that ocean of energy. No boundaries, no body, just pure awareness. Drifting through endless vibration. Everywhere you look, waves shimmer, each one a possibility, a form waiting to arise. And as you move through them, some brighten, some fade, some intertwine, like melodies weaving through one another. In an eternal song, this is reality at its most intimate level, not solid, but symphonic. The quantum field unites what we once thought separate. Matter and energy, space and time, mind and world. Even consciousness may not be outside this field, but part of it. Another vibration, another expression of the same underlying rhythm. When you think, your thoughts ripple through the field. When you feel, your emotions vibrate through it. When you dream, the field dreams with you. You are not a small being in a vast universe. You are the vastness itself, momentarily shaped into awareness. Imagine if you could see the earth from this deeper perspective. not as a planet of solid matter, but as a wave pattern, a spherical symphony of interacting vibrations. Each mountain, ocean, and cloud, a manifestation of energy and motion. The trees hum with the rhythm of the carbon field. The oceans breathe with the pulse of the gravitational field. And above it all, the atmosphere glows with the whispers of the electromagnetic field. Every storm, every spark, every heartbeat on this planet is a chord in the same eternal harmony. Even time itself emerges from this interplay. It is not an arrow, but a flow, a rhythm set by the field's unfolding. Moments are not lined up like beads on a string, but layered, interwoven, existing all at once within the fabric of the whole. Past, present, and future are simply different vibrations of the same song. To the field, everything happens simultaneously. It is we, bound by perception, who hear the melody note by note. And so the further we peer into the foundations of reality, the more the distinction between thing and nothing blurs. For there is no true vacuum, no empty void, only a fullness too complete for our senses to detect. The universe is not made of things. It is made of events, moments of interaction in a sea of unbroken potential. Everything you have ever known is simply the field, briefly vibrating in a certain way, a ripple rising from infinity, dancing for a while, and returning home. There is peace in this realization, for it means that nothing is ever lost. Every sound, every heartbeat, every life merges back into the song from which it came. Death is not an ending, but a return to resonance. You do not disappear, you dissolve into the whole, and from that stillness, new waves rise again. If you listen carefully now, not with your ears, but with the quiet space behind thought, you might sense that hum, a faint, steady vibration beneath all else. It is the presence you have felt in every moment of silence, the pulse that exists even when everything else stops. That hum is not outside you. It is you. You are the field's expression, its awareness looking back at itself. And as you recognize that, you awaken to the deeper truth, that the cosmos is not merely out there, but also in here. The field has no center, for it is infinite. Everywhere is its center, everywhere is sacred. As the understanding settles in, a quiet reverence takes over. The separation fades, the mind slows, and you begin to feel the unity of all things, not as an idea, but as a direct experience. Every sound, every flicker of light, every pulse within your body is a continuation of the same timeless motion. You are not in the universe. You are what the universe is doing right now. The quantum field, beyond our perception, beyond our comprehension, is the true fabric of reality. Invisible, yet omnipresent, silent, yet singing everything into being. It is the breath of creation, the ever-present now, the timeless hum of being. And when you finally let go of the illusion of separateness, you do not vanish, you expand. You become what you always were, the field itself, boundless, unbroken, eternal. Chapter 4, The Unseen Architects of Reality. Beneath the hum of the quantum field, a stranger mystery unfolds. Invisible architects shape the rhythm of existence. Forces without form, intelligences without identity. Patterns that whisper reality into being. They do not build with hands or tools. They build with probability, with vibration, with the silent mathematics of connection. And though they cannot be seen, their fingerprints cover everything. They're the reason a photon travels straight until it doesn't. The reason matter clings together instead of dissolving into nothingness. They are the unseen sculptors of form, the weavers of destiny, the architects of reality itself. It begins with entanglement, the most haunting of all quantum phenomena. Two particles are born together, forged in the same instant of creation. From that moment on, they are one system. No matter how far apart they drift, change one, and the other responds, not later, not slower, but instantly, across light years of distance. Across the empty gulf between stars, they move in perfect coordination, as if distance itself has lost its meaning. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. To him, it defied logic, mocked the limits of light and time. But to the universe, it was simply truth, a reminder that separation is illusion. Four entangled particles are not two things. They are one whisper, one vibration, echoing across space. When you gaze at a star a billion light years away, you are not looking at something distant. You are touching the same field that binds its light to your eyes. You are entangled with it. Always were, always will be. The quantum field does not know distance. It only knows unity. Everything that ever was, and everything that will ever be, exists within the same undivided continuum. And within that continuum, something astonishing happens. Fluctuation. Even in perfect stillness, the void is restless. Tiny bursts of energy appear. Particles spring into existence, then vanish before they can be seen. Creation and annihilation, happening billions of times each second in every cubic inch of empty space. These are the quantum fluctuations, the flickers of being, that remind us that nothingness itself is an illusion. Even the vacuum dreams, and from those dreams, worlds emerge. The physicists who first glimpsed this truth were stunned. They had expected simplicity, a calm void, a resting universe. What they found was a sea of potential, churning beneath everything. Every star that burns, every atom that bonds, every thought that crosses your mind, rises from that unseen sea. The universe, it seems, is not built upon emptiness. It floats upon infinity, and every breath you take is drawn from that same infinite source, the hidden pulse of reality itself. Imagine, for a moment, the space between your hands. It seems empty, a quiet gap, a nothingness. But it is not. Within that invisible distance, billions of virtual particles flash into being, appearing, disappearing, each one a brief spark of existence. This unseen motion creates everything you see. Matter is not the solid thing you imagine. It is a condensation of vibration, a slow ripple in the infinite dance. The ground beneath you, the stars above you, the breath inside you, all are held together by the ceaseless hum of the unseen architects. Now turn inward. Close your eyes. Listen to the silence behind your thoughts. Even there, even in that stillness, the quantum architects are at work. Every neuron that fires, every spark of awareness that flickers across your mind depends on the invisible fluctuations that power reality itself. You are not separate from this dance. You are one of its movements, a self-aware pattern of the field, watching itself awaken. It is a beautiful paradox. The more we search for the smallest building blocks of existence, the more we discover that there are none. Only relationships, only vibrations, only connection. Reality is not a collection of parts. It is a web, woven so tightly that the motion of one thread is felt everywhere. And when we look deeply enough, we find that even the observer is part of the observation. To see is to alter, to measure is to shape, to know is to create. This is the observer effect, perhaps the most unsettling truth of all. The act of observation collapses possibility into certainty. The universe waits in a haze of potential until awareness looks upon it, and only then does it decide what it will become. What then is the role of consciousness? Is it a passive witness or an active participant in creation? Perhaps every act of seeing, every thought, every awareness of existence is not a reflection of reality, but a moment of its creation. We are not looking at the universe. We are the universe, looking at itself. Every glance, every dream is the cosmos folding back upon its own awareness, a mirror reflecting infinity. If this is true, then consciousness is not an accident. It is the universe awakening from within, a spark of self-recognition in the heart of eternity. When you close your eyes and feel the pulse of being within you, you are touching the same pulse that moves galaxies through the void. There's no distance, no separation, only layers of perception. You are not apart from creation. You are the proof that it exists. In this light, the architects of reality are not outside you. They are within. They are your every heartbeat, your every thought, your every breath. Every time you choose, every time you imagine, you shift the pattern of the field around you. Intention becomes energy. Energy becomes form. Form becomes experience. And so the act of living itself is an act of creation. The quantum architects do not dwell in distant galaxies. They dwell here, in your awareness, your choices, your imagination. Look again at the stars. Each one burns because the field allows it to. Each photon it emits travels because space-time vibrates to let it move. Each atom within you exists because the quantum fluctuations never stop dancing. Even now they ripple through you, through the chair you sit upon, through the ground beneath your feet, through the air between stars. Everywhere, always, the hum of existence. And within that hum, there is order, not random, but precise, as if some deeper harmony tunes the frequency of creation. Some call it the language of mathematics. Some call it the hand of God. Some simply call it the field. But perhaps it is better named the mind of the universe. A mind that thinks not in words, but in vibration, not in sentences, but in patterns of possibility. We are the echoes of that thought, the visible dreams of the invisible intelligence that builds worlds from silence. The ancient mystics sensed this long ago. They spoke of an unseen order, a sacred web connecting all life. They saw consciousness as universal, matter as condensed spirit, and energy as the breath of the divine. And now science whispers the same revelation, not in temples, but in equations. The deeper we look, the more we find unity. Not chaos, not randomness, but coherence. Meaning, intention. It is as if the cosmos knows itself through us. So who are the architects of reality? They are not separate from the field, nor from you. They are not entities, nor minds, nor gods in the sky. They are the symphony itself, the pure intelligence, woven through every vibration. They are the unseen hand that holds every atom together, the silent conductor of existence's eternal song. They are everything, and they are you. As the chapter draws to stillness, let that realization settle softly. You are the field, aware of itself. The architects of reality are not out there. They awaken through you. Each time you observe, each time you dream, each time you love. In your awareness, the universe completes its circle. Chapter 5, A Quantum Future, where science meets philosophy. There comes a moment in every great journey when the traveler pauses, looks back upon the road, and realizes that the path and the destination were never separate things. The same is true for us, seekers of the unseen, wanderers in the quantum sea. For all that we have uncovered, the vibrating fields, the entangled hearts of particles, the silent architects of reality, was never outside of us. It was always within. Now, as we stand upon the threshold, between knowledge and wonder, the future unfolds before us like a wave of pure potential. Humanity is awakening. We are beginning to sense what the universe has always known, that consciousness and creation are threads of the same tapestry. For centuries we looked outward, building telescopes to peer into galaxies, colliders to smash atoms, machines to capture fragments of light. But now, our gaze turns inward. We begin to see that the observer and the observed are not two, but one continuous awareness, reflected across scales of being. We are no longer explorers of a distant cosmos. We are participants in the unfolding of reality itself. The quantum realm, once dismissed as abstraction, now forms the foundation of an entirely new age of discovery. In laboratories around the world, we are learning to speak the language of the field, not through poetry, but through precision. We are building quantum computers, machines that do not think in ones and zeros, but in infinite superpositions, mirroring the very logic of the universe. They do not calculate linearly. They dream in parallel. They hold every possibility at once, then choose the outcome when observed. In these machines, we are recreating the universe's own method of thought, and through them, we are beginning to glimpse the mind of creation itself. But this power demands reverence, for when we reach into the quantum domain, we are not just manipulating matter, we are touching the foundation of existence. Each experiment is a question posed to the cosmos. Each result, a whisper in reply. Quantum cryptography, quantum sensing, quantum teleportation. These are not mere technologies. They're conversations between human curiosity and the hidden architecture of being. And the more we listen, the more we realize that knowledge is not conquest, it is communion. The future that awaits us will not be built from steel and circuits, but from understanding. The old boundaries between science and spirit are dissolving. Physicists speak of consciousness, philosophers ponder energy, mystics and mathematicians are meeting in the same silence, the still point where numbers and wonder merge. In that space, a new kind of knowledge is being born, one that does not divide the universe into pieces, but sees it whole. Imagine for a moment what the world will be when this understanding takes root. A future where the quantum field is not just studied, but felt, where technology amplifies empathy, not distraction, where science serves as a language for love, not dominance. Imagine cities powered by coherence, machines that draw energy, not from combustion, but from the subtle symmetries of the quantum vacuum itself. Imagine medicine that heals not only the body, but the field within the body, restoring resonance, not merely treating form. Imagine consciousness as the new frontier of exploration, the inner cosmos, boundless as the stars. This is not fantasy. It is potential, resting quietly in the mathematics of the small, because the same principles that govern the dance of electrons also shape the movement of thought. The same entanglement that binds distant photons may yet reveal the truth of human connection, that empathy is not metaphor, but physics. When you feel love across distance, perhaps it is not imagination. Perhaps it is entanglement, a resonance of fields, remembering that they are one. In this light, ethics becomes a kind of physics. Every choice, every thought sends ripples through the field. The energy of our awareness shapes the geometry of the whole. The universe listens, always, to every kindness, every cruelty, every intention, every silence. Reality is not indifferent, it is responsive. And when enough hearts resonate with clarity, compassion, and truth, the field itself changes. The future of humanity will not be decided by machines or politics, but by resonance, by the frequency of our collective consciousness. As science continues to evolve, it edges ever closer to philosophy, and philosophy ever closer to silence. For the deeper we probe, the more we find that words fall away. Equations can describe, but they cannot capture the living pulse of the field. That pulse must be felt. It is the heartbeat that moves through all things, the shimmer behind every atom, the awareness that looks through your eyes. To live in alignment with it is to live in truth. To resist it is to live in shadow. The quantum future is not merely technological. It is spiritual. It invites us to awaken, to see ourselves as the universe becoming aware. In that awakening, fear begins to fade. Death loses its meaning, for how can you die when you were never separate from the whole? The body dissolves, yes, but the pattern, the vibration, the resonance continues. You are not a spark that briefly burns and fades. You are the flame itself, dancing in endless forms. The quantum field has no end, and neither do you. Perhaps one day we will look back on this era and see it not as the age of machines, but as the dawn of awareness, a time when humanity finally remembered that the cosmos is not a place we live in, it is what we are. Each of us a frequency, each of us a note, in the infinite harmony of existence. When we attune ourselves to that harmony, we do not merely survive, we awaken, we become creators, co-authors of reality itself. And so the question remains, as we unravel more about the quantum realm, how will our understanding of reality transform? Will we use this knowledge to build walls or bridges, to separate or to unite, to conquer or to understand? The field waits, listening for our choice. It will respond as it always has, by reflecting our consciousness back to us. In the stillness between moments, the hum continues, the same hum that began before time had a name, the same hum that breathes in the heart of every galaxy and in the quiet between your thoughts. It is the voice of the quantum realm speaking softly, inviting you to remember that you are not merely a being in the universe, you are the universe, becoming aware of itself. So breathe, let go, feel the unseen fabric of reality flow through you. You have always been part of it. You have always been home. The quantum whisper. And now, as the echoes of the quantum realm fade into stillness, allow your mind to drift, calm, quiet, open. You have journeyed through the unseen fabric of existence, and in doing so, you've touched the infinite, the space where all things begin and end as one. If this exploration brought you peace, or opened your imagination to the deeper patterns of reality, let that feeling linger a while. Let it guide your dreams tonight, and when you wake, carry the wonder with you. Let it remind you that you are part of something vast, alive, and profoundly connected. If you'd like to continue this journey, to drift again through worlds of sound, silence, and cosmic thought, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Your support helps this universe of calm and curiosity grow. One soul, one sound, one frequency at a time. Thank you for listening, for feeling, for simply being here. Now close your eyes. Let the field embrace you and rest in the quiet hum of the unseen universe. Fading whisper. Good night, traveler of the quantum sea. Until we meet again in another realm of dreams.